Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Sorry, but can you say something again?
Can you guys hear me?
That was on me, sorry.
Sorry, I got a planning board meeting tonight. I can't be running back and forth. So is Nick here? It's hard to see. You at the head of the table, Nick?
Yeah,
I can see you.
Okay.
I don't know, Nick, do you want to like run the meeting since you're in person and I can fill in?
Yeah, sure, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. I guess the first introductions, yeah, right. So you had in mind that we would all like talk something about ourselves so we could introduce ourselves to Stephanie, right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Yeah, right. No, you don't have to go first unless you want to. So I'm Nick Watley, co-chair of the committee. Started way back when with Topsham Solar Advocates and ended up in turning into this committee. And I am a semi-retired granite shop guy. And now I'm getting way more into my son's farm. So spend most of my time farming and caring for grandkids. Which I have 3 and 1 on the way.
All right.
So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jackie Cressy. I live at the Highlands in Topsham and joined last fall, I think. I have been a teacher. I've bank teller, a whole various things. My husband, we moved around a lot, so I never quite had a career, but I've been trained in biology and ecology, and it's always been my passion. So I was delighted to have a chance to be more involved in the community as a whole. So, and I already have 4 grandchildren.
Are you able to hear everybody about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I live on Winter Street. I've lived there since 2006. I have no grandchildren, but I have 1 daughter who's in college. And I guess I've been on this committee for a couple of years now, but I've been like super busy with other things the last few months. So, and I work for an organization called Casco Bay Estuary Partnership. So I do a lot of this kind of thing at work and a lot of other similar things at work as well.
Hi, I'm Vic Langelo. I've been on the committee since I guess it was started, and also a member of the Solar Advocates.
When did it start?
I think we're over 4 years old now. I think October's our birth month.
Yeah,
Whereas the energy committee, right?
Right.
yeah, as the energy committee, yeah.
So because the solar thing was.
Yeah, 2018
Couple
or
years
something.
before that.
And I guess I'm a software developer by occupation, and my background's in physics. So
Great. And other than, you said your co-chair, is Yvette the other co-chair?
She's the other.
Are those the only kind of positions on the committee?
I guess I'm secretary.
yes, the secretary. Yeah. I guess we had a president and vice president, and we just made it co-chairs anyways.
Chair and co-chair, or
Yeah.
chair and vice chair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, not.
That's right, Karen. Yeah, that's right. Chair and vice chair.
Nice. Okay, I'm Stephanie Gardner. My husband and I bought a house in Topsham last April, so we're coming up on 1 year. But we have been kind of splitting our time between Massachusetts and here, because we're about to sell our house in Quincy, Massachusetts, which is where we lived before that. I lived in the Boston area for about 10 years before moving to Topsham. I grew up in Colorado. Went to college at Dartmouth and got my master's at Vermont Law School. So that's what brought me to the East Coast. And then I just stayed after school And I I'm a software product manager. And I work for a startup that does virtual power plants by networking residential batteries together. And my education was environmental studies and environmental law and policy and energy law. And my career has been in energy for the past 10 years. And no kids, but a dog, one dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Sky, do you want to go and then I'll go?
Sure. I'm Sky Slotty. I'm the Director of Planning in Topsham. I'm coming up on 2 years in Topsham and a year as the director. I'm from Waldo County, Maine, and I live in Bath. And I have a degree in policy planning and management from USM. That's my master's, and anthropology from the University of Maine, and sustainable food systems, but I don't do much with that these days. That's me. Chill.
As Nick mentioned, I'm Yvette Meunier, I'm the co-chair, and I was also one of the founding members of the Topsham Solar Advocates. So going back to, I don't know, I feel like it was 2015 that started. But anyhow, we've been together for quite a while here. I work for the town of Bodenham as the Director of Planning and Development. I've had a lot of different government roles in utility work. And yeah, just happy to have you here, Stephanie. I'm glad that you found this and are joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. My husband is on the bike and pedestrian committee for the town.
Yay.
So he really encouraged me to get more involved. In Quincy, his dad was a city councilor for 14 years, so getting community involvement, it runs in his family, and I'm excited to jump in.
Still alive?
Barely.
My dad was
Mostly.
born in Quincy.
Oh, wow.
Little known fact.
Great. Well, so that's that part. Is there anybody out there in public land?
I don't see anyone.
Yeah, well, then I guess I'm inviting the public to comment, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So let's move on. So we have the meeting minutes from the last meeting. Does anybody have any corrections, changes?
No.
Ideas on that? Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Motion?
Accept the minutes as written.
Second?
I'll second.
Oh, I think Jackie beat you
I
to
wasn't
it.
driving.
Okay, that's good.
And so, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that's unanimous. So Sky, you're on.
Oh, shoot, I don't have the agenda in front of me. What's on it?
Oh, staff update.
It's like, what do you need?
I need a song and a dance.
A little busy. I think you guys got an email from me last
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Select board added a little blurb to just, I think, reflect what had been discussed at your meeting at the beginning of March. Otherwise, we've been getting the warrant together over the past couple of days, and you guys are on there. Yes, I have seen it with my own 2 eyes, so. Otherwise, I don't think financially, grant wise, I sent out some information to you too about stuff like that. We should be getting our last invoice from MCOG, so really tying things up with that. Have a report due in the next month, April.
Mhm.
Words aren't coming to me today
Yeah.
on it, but yeah, that's really it right now.
Did
So
you have an update about printing costs or
I
any of that
haven't
stuff
heard
yet?
from them. I had left a voicemail and I had been thinking over the past 2 days I should send an email to just double check on it, but I got really busy with other things. So I would say, there's a good amount of money there. And if you guys feel like you're gonna go over that, I can try to track them down a little bit more, but there's a decent amount left in incidentals.
So the idea was that we would just be going to Staples or something.
Yeah, that's the request, because it just apparently puts a lot of wear and tear on the copier
Yeah.
to print color copies of things. So they were just requesting that.
And for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about hard copies for some meetings that we're gonna talk about in a minute. Was that all, Yvette? Just it's like, what, 40 hard copies of the climate action plan, or 45 total.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could like discuss if we wanted to bring some of those and then figure out, how many we should take where, and how much they would cost.
Right. Right. Okay.
Do you want me to get into the next part since I set all this up without asking any questions?
Right, we can see you and hear you, so yes, that'll work just fine.
So now that we're moving into the phase of educating folks about the plan and putting it out there on the, it's on the warrant, we want people to come out and vote for it. Trying to put together some dates to basically do the presentations again at large venues where folks gather. And the library is a place that we've done things with the solar advocates for sure. So I went ahead and contacted them over there to find out what dates are available because they do book up quite quickly. And I figured that probably just wait until May unless folks have differing opinions, but it'd be more on folks' minds that they actually need to go to a meeting and it'd be like within a week or maybe more. So in talking with them, a Saturday, they really had like a very short window. So I grabbed May 24th, which would be the Saturday before the town meeting, which is the 28th on a Wednesday. And then we could also do another, I secured May 8th. It's a Thursday. Just so we could maybe get, grab people that wouldn't come on a Saturday. And I'm happy to, I'm free those days. I made up the PowerPoint and all the bullet points, so I'm fine with just putting myself on the list of presenting it. So how do folks feel about the library dates?
I personally think we should do both. I really do. Think them. And that's a great venue.
Does anyone else have any feedback on the both of the days there?
I'm probably good for both dates, and I definitely think the library is a place to be.
And I don't think we really need like all hands on deck or anything like that. I didn't think like, town staff need to come and work on a Saturday or anything like that. I just figured that doing the presentation we've already done, having some copies available for folks. So that was kind of what I thought we would do.
More of an informal, or would you?
Like presentation and then Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good as many people as could make those, because, we can go out into the crowd and talk to people,
Okay, exactly, yeah, I don't think I have a problem with any of those.
I can do the 24th. I can't do the 8th.
I
Okay.
can do 24th. I'll be in New York on the 8th. I mean,
Okay.
vice versa. I'll be available the 8th and can't make the
Oh,
24th.
that's good.
oh,
I may be out the 8th, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I'm available the 8th.
and I think I'm pretty sure I've got both days.
Yeah. I'm on months, but that's.
What time on the Saturday?
Yeah,
Uh,
so
1 to 2 p.m.
yeah, I will need to be there. We can be there any time 30 minutes in advance of the actual meeting, so 12:30 or 6 o'clock. And then it gives us like another half an hour to actually clean up. So like when you're reserving these spaces, you're really asking for like a full 2 hours. And they close at 8 on Thursday, so we have to like totally hustle up. But I think the presentation was like maybe 20 minutes long. It's not that
Yeah.
long.
Nice and crisp, so.
Yeah. So in regards to the library, they are willing to, promote this out. And so I was curious if I could maybe get some assistance with that. They have a newsletter and we could throw a little blurb together.
Yeah.
Um,
I could do that.
I could do the, or, yeah, no,
We'll do it
we can do it
together.
together, okay?
Okay.
awesome. Okay. And so basically, if we can just get something to them, before, I'll need to check with them, but like, I'm not sure if when their newsletter comes out, but probably the sooner the better. I can get back to you on that though. And if we, Sky, did they do that poster on Canva?
Oh, the FB one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we have access to it? Or
I do. I don't know how
could,
easy it is to, I'll try to, the 9 by 11 one, or regular page, not the like postcard,
yeah,
the poster.
yeah,
Yeah,
just to maybe add like the 2 dates for the library event on there, and then we could post it to be like, hey, we've got 2 dates,
yeah,
or if you can add me, I'll do it.
I'll dig up the link and see if it's easy to share with you or what's up with it. I
Okay,
know Canva can be a little finicky, so I'm like scared of it, but,
okay. Yeah, so if we can get that together, obviously I can run over with some posters at some point. Um, I wanted to, the whole gift cards and food thing, I don't really think it's super necessary at this point, but if others feel like we need to draw them there with food and so forth, then that's fine. But I just wanted to maybe ask you guys if that's something you think we should do.
I don't think personally don't think we need to get gift cards to get people there. Anybody that's interested is gonna show up. People love cookies, so.
Cookies is something to drink, I think is always nice.
I will note that we haven't been able to, when I asked finance about reimbursing you guys, they were like, that's really difficult without the proper tax paperwork, so that's why Josh has gotten the food. So, the Thursday one, I could probably run out and you guys could pick up food by, 5:30 on that Thursday, but the Saturday one, I do not want to be working on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
that's a concern. If you want us to get a box of cookies on that Friday and you get it, we can do that, or like,
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess we have a fridge here, so I could go out and get like lemonade and cookies on that Friday and someone can come get it, but you just,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. Like some
yeah.
juice boxes or past, like nothing from the freezer section, just
Yeah.
yeah. Any
okay, yeah,
totally.
okay, we
Um,
can do that.
As little
okay.
package as possible, please.
You what?
As little packaging as possible. please.
Yeah, right. Well,
We'll see
Yeah.
what we can do. Maybe a bag of apples. How's that? There is packaging, but
yeah.
Or Hannaford, you can buy like that box of.
Oh, yeah, I
cookies,
wasn't worried
too.
about the cookies, I
'Cause
was
then they're
actually
sort
thinking of the drinks.
loose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll get a beverage and cookies for both times, and I'll need someone to be here by 5:30 on Thursday. Or, we leave at 6, we don't wanna be here after 6, and, on the Saturday, we close at 3 on Fridays, so. Those are the deadlines.
Mhm.
can you tell me those again? Sorry.
Thursday, we close at 6, Friday, we close at 3, so like, please within the half an hour before that deadline.
great. Okay. So I'm happy to get those things beforehand. And then I guess we'll wait to hear back from you, Sky, in regards to the copies.
If you wanna, that, what we just talked about, that'll probably cost like 50, 75 max. I'm being very conservative with that number for the snacks. I'm being very conservative. So that probably brings you down to like, let's say 650 just to be safe. if you guys wanna price out your printing, I will look into it for sure, but I just, do you need 45 copies?
I'd like to raise it. initially.
Yeah.
When I saw that number, I said, oh no. When you look at the size
It's
of
huge.
it's huge, and I just don't see people reading it, even if it's there. I think, a couple of copies to have that we have written on the top, please don't take, that they can start looking through. We can take, emails if they would like to have a copy sent to them.
Well, you could also just give out,
QR
like a
code.
link
Right.
to where it'll be
That's
hosted,
right.
cause it'll be up
I
on the
haven't gotten
website.
that far, my technological thing, I never
Oh,
thought.
you can do it.
I was saying to Jackie, though, I think it's worth maybe having some hidden, like maybe bring a few, just in case someone doesn't have a computer and.
I totally
don't
get
have them
that.
displayed, but pull them
Yeah.
out if someone really can't access them or
Yeah.
whatever.
I don't know, I am very reluctant to print any copies that I think are just gonna go straight into the trash. What about doing a, simple, well, that's Victoria's idea to, do a simple front back, single page, summary with some key points in it. And then, the pages that have the, matrix. Because that's the meat of it right there. And I mean, you
I
could
do
have
think
one
that
of
people,
those.
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I think that people would take the matrix home and then they would look at it.
Yeah.
You know, so that might be worth doing, and it's only a few pages, what, like 4,
Yeah.
maybe 5 pages. Summary, yeah, QR code. You're gonna learn this, you just take your phone, open
Yeah.
up the picture,
Yeah.
point it at the QR code.
Yeah, I've done it,
and
I
click
know how to make the QR code.
And you got
Oh,
the
it's
whole
easy.
thing.
Yeah. People
are pretty familiar with that.
Just a sign there that has the QR code.
If you guys want a QR code, just email me and I'll get you one.
Okay, yeah.
Well, just cause I'll have the link for where it'll be hosted.
Oh,
easily.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Are you down with all this, Yvette?
Yeah, totally. I think that's like maybe 10 copies total for all the times we're going out and about with them. And
Yeah.
then this fact sheet thing sounds like an awesome idea. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking that the bullet point cover page of it could probably just be something we grab right out of the slideshow. Because I think we've got kind of like maybe a slide or two that's like what's changed and what's different, maybe. Like I think we've got some
Exactly,
kind of high level stuff like that.
right,
So I could put that together.
That sounds good.
yeah,
Sounds
I think
better.
that makes a great deal of sense.
But maybe with that, we might want like 30. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's going to be a handout though, because if it's not really a handout, because the library can fit like 50 or more people or something. I'm not saying that everybody wants a handout though. So how many of these type of fact sheet things do you guys want? Maybe just if you just still pick it up if you want it kind of thing.
Well, it sounds like we have the budget that, you know, if we go on Thursday, the 8th. With 30 of them in hand and they get, you know, instantly devoured, then we would know that it would be
Right.
worth it to do it again.
Right, and if we don't need it, you know, if they don't get taken, then we have them for the next time.
Yeah, I just was gonna say, actually, the number I gave you guys is probably about $30 higher, cause I'm taking the InDesign costs and allocating to a different part of the grant that wasn't used. So it's probably a little higher than we talked about. So as I said, like, yeah, just figure what you guys want. I don't really have a whole lot of opinions. I did think 45 copies was maybe a lot, especially for, you know, what you
Well,
guys are
it sounds
doing,
like
but
we're-
it's your choice.
Yeah.
If you like price out your copies and you're like, ah, shoot, Sky, it's gonna be like this much, like, then I'll really start tracking down the state, but, they're a little hard to get in touch with these days. I think they've got a lot going on, so if you guys can stick with the incidentals, we just don't need to, is the only comment to that. I'm happy to do it, I'm curious if you'll actually need to is all.
Yeah,
Well,
just
if-
do a few and then see what happens.
Yeah, if we do these smaller things, we're gonna be way. under.
Exactly, yeah, I don't-
Yeah,
It seems like a pretty good chunk of change, but.
yeah.
Actually, are they gonna print any of these out for the town meeting or?
I'm not sure exactly how they're handling that.
Yeah.
We've got one copy that was printed out kind of accidentally. Which is what kind of spurred the nope, not doing that. I was really big. Cause the appendices are
Yeah, the
really a lot.
appendices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the plan itself isn't huge, but the appendices together and it's just like a ton of color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we'll print one. But I'm not actually quite sure.
yeah,
I think they're figuring that out exactly how they'll handle
Yeah,
that.
because usually, I mean, they have all those handouts there at the meeting, and that's a.
That's-
No,
yeah.
nobody's gonna read it there, so.
No, it's like this thick, guys.
Yeah, totally.
It is over an inch thick.
Yeah, so maybe we do a
Oof.
couple of copies that we have bound. I think Staples can do a simple binding, and that way they're actually easy to look through. We can take them wherever and
Yeah.
we'll use them into the future.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it's really readable on the phone. It's just not really meant for
It's-
Oh,
phone.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
right? So I'm not sure a QR code is
Oh.
helpful. I think that the one page that people can take home and go, see the website to go to is more
Yeah,
valuable than a QR code.
Well, I think the QR code too is just to get it and then you can take it home and
Take it
print it
home.
if you want it.
QR
Watch
code
it.
would be good for home,
But I think
Yeah, but
Stephanie-
you get it on, like,
on a laptop.
yeah, how do you get it from, like, most people don't take a QR code from their phone and then pull it up on their computer. At least I don't do that.
Oh,
I
actually,
just-
it happens
I'd send it-
automatically.
Okay, Mac people, all right, I'm not a Mac.
I was going to say, I also don't do that. I think you have a good point here.
But you're right, not
Particularly,
everyone's gonna do that.
so we're both on the younger edge. We're not doing that. Jackie has said that she doesn't really understand QR codes. So we've got multiple people on the age
Yeah.
spectrum that are like, maybe I think a link might be a better way of doing it is what I'm getting at, that
Is it,
everyone can do.
is the link friendly? Is it-
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
topsum.com/climate
climate
action
action,
plan.
yeah,
Sounds easy.
yeah. Little.
So
little
that'll
bit,
just be on the informational page. then.
I can't change the topsummaine.com part.
Yeah.
That one's locked in. Sorry,
yeah, I'll
what?
put the link on the handout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just at the
Yeah.
top, but I can try to make it a little bigger, but if I don't, someone can also email me and tell me to do that.
Yeah, okay.
So moving on, the Highlands and the Highland Greens.
That's
Today I emailed you, sorry, just real quick, Jackie. I emailed everybody letting you know that John Barry, our former energy committee person who lives at the Highland Greens, has given me the info about how to reserve over there. So I do have that. And my question is, Jackie, does your community get together with their community, or can you tell
do.
us more about that?
It can, it doesn't happen often, but we invite them. In fact, they came to one just recently. I have 4 possible dates for you. They're all at 2:30. One is Saturday, May 10th, but I can tell you, you will not get a very good crowd on a Saturday. The others are May 6th or 14th or 19th, and since we already have something for May 8th, I would suggest choosing either the 14th or the 19th. And then, I can take care of making sure that Highlands Green people and our people know about it.
So I'm looking at the Highland Greens page, but you're saying that the Highland Greens folks can come to your guys' facility and those
Yes, they
dates?
can. Yeah, and these are the dates that are available at the Highlands.
What place is it? What's the venue?
The venue is our Georgetown Parlor.
Yeah.
Which will hold about 50
Okay,
people. It's, that's about right.
Yeah.
And it's the main, space where we have our meetings,
Mhm.
with the, in presentations. It has, we have access to technology that lets us show the slideshow. And
that the room in the main lodge?
I'm
Is
sorry.
that the room on the first floor of the main lodge?
Yes, it is. If you come in
Yeah,
the
okay.
main entrance on Governor's Way, and it's a portico. Walk in and
Yeah.
there you are. You would, guests are supposed to sign in. But I don't think anybody did the last time. Nobody seemed to be worried about it, so. It will work, and all the Highland Green people know where we are, so. So any other questions about that?
I can't make it on the 14th.
Well, I can assure you that I'll be there on the 14th,
Okay.
at the very least. Or the 19th, either one.
The 19th is a Monday.
Yep,
Yeah,
19th, I might be.
I can't make either of those dates, but that's okay. One day I'm
Yeah.
working, the other day I'm away, so.
sure.
What about you, Yvette? Are you?
Well, I do have a job, so I'm trying to get through my calendar here.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I can certainly run the slideshow. And I do presentations, or so doing a presentation is not a problem
Right,
for me.
well,
there are two, you said, or two?
I'm sorry,
What time of day?
it's at 2:30.
2:30.
To 3:30.
Hmm.
And then shut you off at 3:30 because something else happened.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I say, go for it.
Yeah.
But you probably need someone else to support it, or,
I would love someone
Did you
else
guys
to
decide on
support.
a date? Which one?
The 14th or the 19th, have we decided which?
I can do the 19th to support you, since it's during work hours, it's not a problem for me to go do this.
Just come over.
Yeah,
Okay.
um,
Okay, great.
The 14th is fine, Mondays tend to be a little easier than Wednesdays, but I could do both.
Well, 19th is fine with me. I'm there.
I think the
Yeah.
19th is good because it's closer to the actual.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
Town
nice, 'cause it
meeting.
falls right in between the two library. Things, so,
yeah, and I'm not sure yet, but I might be able to meet the 19th.
okay,
Yeah, I can tentatively make the 19th.
okay, great. Well, let's say the 19th then. 2:30, and probably if you can come to get there around 2, so I'll be busily helping you get set up, and we'll have to make sure I've got the slideshow in hand, so.
Yeah.
So, that's all.
And what about, like, food there?
Generally speaking, if there's food, our food department provides it, and I will kind of ask if that can happen.
oh,
Since it's so important, and believe me, Andy, our chef, does some pretty nice food.
Wow, I'm definitely gonna go.
Alright, so don't say anything if you can't do it, Jackie, they'll just have to get disappointed on the day of.
Right, this is true, this is true. I will ask immediately so they can go on their calendar.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll keep us posted about the Highland Green, but maybe this is enough. I'm not sure if, Jackie, there's the green steps, but I think that's at the Highland Greens.
Yes, right. Ours is
Um,
called Go Green, excuse us.
Okay, and you guys have like a newsletter?
We have a weekly newsletter for everything, so yeah, this will definitely get written up and be announced, and it'll be on our calendar for May as well, so.
Okay, great, because the little blurb that you're working on, you could repurpose it for this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have a direct link to the people who do the sending out of messages at Highland Green, so I'll take care of that as well.
Oh, perfect. I think that would work great if we just do it at one of the spots, if we can cross-pollinate with the two newsletter lists.
They would love that.
And then actually you could even throw the third date. Well, if we want to just make one poster, we could like just list all three locations and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three dates. Okay.
Oh, but no, large, no.
Anything else on those two events before we move on?
Did you say something like John Barry was all fired up to put something on, or?
Well,
Or
he
what?
shared the calendar for the Highland Greens and how to go about getting on the calendar. And I was kind of asking him to follow back up on like what dates would make sense. But it sounds like we're going to be able to promote into their channels anyways on a shared opportunity.
I mean, I think it covers it.
It really does, because the Green Steps group is actually in hiatus right now. Their energy
Okay.
level dropped off, so they'll be delighted to be part of ours. And, that, I think that'll work.
Perfect. Okay. A couple of, I mean, like, I feel like we're, kind of far out at this point, but I did want to see Sky. I don't know if the town should or shouldn't really be promoting any specific warrant articles. So that's a question, I think, for you. If we were to do any Facebook posts. I mean, they could be like, hey, learn about the warrant items. They're having events at these places.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it would be a no. I'll check, but I think that's a very good point, and I don't, yeah. I'll check.
I mean, I can see them saying like it's informational sessions on one of the warrant articles, like to learn more if you couldn't
Yeah,
come.
I'll check, I'm a very conservative guesser. I don't like to disappoint you all.
So I suppose if we do get to put something up, maybe it's just a copy of the poster with the 3 activities. It doesn't need to be like something elaborate. If we do, would that be all right, Sky, to just repurpose the
Oh, yeah,
poster?
if it's okay, I think it's fine. I mean, if it's not like in their specifics to it, I'll let you and Nick know.
Okay.
Or I can bring Victoria in too, since she's done that stuff in the past. Or all of you, your choice.
But there's nothing wrong with doing that as an individual, true or false?
Oh, I think
No,
we
we're
just,
good.
yeah, I think
still-
you're fine to do that. It's,
As an individual.
I think she's wondering if the town of Topsom
Yeah.
can, which
Right.
I do think is a concern.
Okay, so TBD. And then I am thinking that maybe some letters to the editor. We've got the crier, obviously, and then we've got the Times Record. So I'm not sure if there's any great writers out there that want to elaborate more than our 200-word blurb for the newsletter to the library, or if anybody,
Question,
yeah.
even though Nancy's off, would she be potentially willing, do you think, to write one of these? Cause she does a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, I
she,
think we could get her to do one for
I don't know if she's
herself.
still doing that
Yeah,
column.
just a letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it hasn't been in the paper and they've cut down, the Times Record only runs once a week now,
Hmm.
so,
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'll ask her though.
Yeah, if she can, that'd be great.
Yeah, put in a letter, get it published like a week or so before the event for the town meeting. Um, all right, let's see. Um, I can see, I could like look at what she's done and then see if I can finagle it into something worth sending to the crier if she works on that soon. And then we could have something from a chair in support. How's that sound?
Yeah,
For the crier, yeah.
yeah,
Sounds good.
Then the next thing, I think that we should put out a couple emails as reminders to our interested parties. You know, that we could, if somebody wouldn't mind, I mean, I've got kind of some stuff like that. I think Jackie, you helped me with one of them. Doesn't have to be very long at all. It's more of just like, thanks for, you know, coming and, you know, and being interested in this, and just a reminder that town meeting is coming up, and we hope, you know, we could even say like, if you want to come to hear us again, we're at these places, and come vote on this thing. Just think that's like a definite audience that we have to get out to vote.
Well, I can
Jackie,
help
would,
them. I can craft the words, but how do I get them?
You send them to me
Aha.
and I send them to Irene and Irene sends them out.
Okay. We got it
how
done.
about you and I work on it, Jackie, just because I might think of like some
Absolutely.
extra promotional items in there. You never know.
Yeah. And just the same thing is just send it to me with dates
Yep.
and like the text, just like in a little, like, this is the text, these are the dates.
Mhm. I think that's all that I have. Besides, maybe we should recap what we will then talk about in April. Does anybody else have anything they want to mention?
So everyone's had a chance to read the little addition that the select board wrote
Yes,
for that.
yeah.
it could have been worse, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it'll change the vote. so.
no, I don't either. And what they say is perfectly reasonable.
Right.
They're saying, hey, we don't have money for these things, so obviously whoever's going to help implement it's going to have to do its own groundwork to fund it, so fund anything that we do.
Right.
I wouldn't mind, though this may be very premature, but you know, think about, it doesn't sound like we have a lot to talk about in April. In terms of things we have to do, we've got everything sort of set up for May. What about starting to brainstorm about where we might start if we actually have to keep going? And whether or not it would be sensible to discuss, and this is me, I kind of think words are important. I have never liked the name Energy Committee. I feel like we're into something far more important, and I like the name sustainability or resilience. Because that's really what we're trying to work on. So I don't know if that might be something people would like to chat about, or whether it's worth chatting about or whatever, but I'll just throw that out. I think,
Well, we do have to suggest the charge, I guess in June, so.
that's right, right.
Yeah,
So can we have input into what the charge would be?
Well, I think-
Oh, you completely,
Well,
Yes,
we
I
have
think
to
so.
think it up.
yeah.
Okay, oh,
Yeah.
good.
So,
yeah,
we have to get together, put our heads together, think of, what is gonna be the most efficient or strategic
Yep.
action that we
Right,
would like to tackle next, and then we have to describe that, and then go to the select board,
okay,
submit that to them, and then there's gonna be some back and forth,
sure,
about that,
Yeah.
and they may or may not like what we wanna do,
right.
so
we'll
Yeah.
probably have to come up
I
with
could see it
2 or 3 items.
going,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
kind of a grab bag of
Yeah.
things. I think if you ask for one thing.
You'll need to have terms too. They're strong on the terms these days too.
Term,
Like
Terms
as
of-
amount of time, since you're an ad hoc committee, so if you say like, of the climate action plan, we wanna do this action, you're gonna you're gonna get a term associated with it as
I
well,
see.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
If it takes you longer than what the term is, I think you can go to them and say like, hey, we're still working on
Taking
this, it's taking longer, can we get an extension?
Okay.
But they want all the ad hocs
So
to
we-
have a charge and a term.
So
What I
this is what we
recall,
wanna
I-
do over the next 18 months or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
So, I
then
mean,
it'll
that's
be what
gonna
you
depend
decide.
on what, you know, that's gonna depend on what lands on the table, you know, as far as, you know, people's ideas about what we wanna do.
sure,
Some things will be really quick and easy and some things will be
right,
longer, so
right,
we might wanna think about choosing, you know, a short, middle and
and along,
a
absolutely.
longer, you know, just to have, you know, here's the things we could do.
Mhm.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Sounds like April might be the time to start talking about that.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
I think in
well,
our May meeting, we'll probably want to just brainstorm to ensure that we all have maybe something to say at town meeting, or at least cover like a few points.
Right.
yeah, we may get some more feedback from the public too,
Right,
so that'll
Yeah.
help us
Yeah.
focus the message at town meeting.
Feedback, what do you mean?
Oh, just people who come may not
To the
to the,
meetings.
to the, you know, 3 public events, we might get some idea of like what the sticking points are or whatever.
right.
So I don't know, maybe not, but,
Well,
yeah.
more likely yes than no.
Yeah, yeah, so that might be something, yeah, to talk about in May, just to
Sure.
get, you know, there's gonna be, there's 4, 5, 6 of us that, you know, could talk at town meeting.
Yeah.
We only get, expect we're only gonna get 3 minutes each or something like that,
Right.
so. We could address different issues.
Mhm,
Each
right.
of us can address different issues, so.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, that would be a definite good topic for me.
And then our charge includes a meeting after
Yeah.
the town meeting.
Yeah.
You know, the next month, so,
Right.
you know, there's a little bit of
Finalize,
time, but it
yeah.
wouldn't hurt to start talking about, you know, what the future
Right.
direction is gonna be. You,
Okay.
what else? It says other at the bottom, so.
Well, I asked other. What else?
I think that's it. Anybody got anything else? So, if anybody's out there in public land,
Oh, I turned it off
Now's
so
your
we could
chance.
see nice and clearly. Nope, I don't see anyone.
okay,
So, yeah, I guess if there's any, if we're writing up these things, if you want somebody to review them, I'd be happy to review them or
Oh,
add
yeah.
to them.
All
or-
right, I
whatever.
never send anything out without
Okay,
everybody
well, just,
looking
yeah,
at
okay,
it.
just,
Ever.
Victor, you want to be an editor on some of these blurbs and stuff, are you saying?
sure, if you,
I mean,
yeah,
I can take some of that too. I can read better than I can write.
yeah, especially if somebody doesn't have time or something, getting deadlines, you know, I'd be happy to fill in.
Okay, great, thank you.
So Jackie, I will send you the PowerPoint.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That takes care of something I already wrote on my list to remind myself.
Maybe at the April meeting, if folks want to review the fact sheet that I made to bless it, that could be
Yeah.
another thing.
Yes,
Yes.
And maybe even like if we have some letters that are letter of the editor, the crier or something, we could look at that also. But the no, the crier just needs to go out. So that's just gonna happen. But I'll ask for some feedback from y'all on it.
Let's see, that'll be is that when the warrant goes out, May 1st issue of prior?
Oh, you know, I'm not completely sure.
22nd is
on
that?
that. The warrant is going to the select board next week for setting the public hearing. The public hearing is on April 17th.
Yeah, so
Um,
actually, it's gotta,
And then it goes to the printer like the next day, but I don't know exactly when it goes out, probably
it
around
probably
then.
would
yeah.
have to be the May issue then, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not gonna make it into the April one.
Oh, gosh, no, no.
Which is probably already out, so.
Yeah, I couldn't quite remember if it was its own thing or if it was in it, so if it's in an issue, then yes.
Yeah, they usually just stick it. to-
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember that. I was talking to Josh about town meeting government and then I was like, I don't know the answer to this one.
Yeah, yeah. Unless they change.
No, I would trust you on this, Victor.
Yeah.
You've lived here. I've only worked here for 2 years, so.
Yeah, the last 20, they.
Town meeting season was a little bit of a blur for me last year.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Coming up exactly on a year, so
Yeah.
camp director, then, well, here's the amendments you have to defend.
Okay.
And I have a few things I'll check on for you guys and let you know about, mainly that Facebook thing, and then I'll wait on news from you guys regarding printing.
Okay.
So is someone responsible for getting printing quotes?
Just thinking about that.
Yeah, I
Um,
just wrote it down as a to-do. I'll do it. 10 copies of the, well, no, not
Easing it.
10.
Yeah,
Not
that-
10
you think
bound
someone was
copies.
volunteer.
Was it like 3 bound copies that we were thinking about from Staples?
Yeah.
yeah,
So 3 bound copies and then 30 fact sheets. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good, yeah.
okay.
And the updated cap with the select board language should be going up tomorrow.
Oh,
I've
right.
been just very busy in the planning office.
Yeah. That'll be at the same link, that-
Probably.
yeah, okay.
I think, I mean, I'll update if I have something else uploaded, I'll get rid of that one since it's no longer there, but
Yeah.
they'll probably be on like the select board meeting page too,
Oh, okay, yeah,
would be my guess.
Motion to adjourn here. I'm sorry, I'm making notes. I'm not paying attention to y'all.
Okay, somebody breathe. Jackie second.
Oh, who was first?
I thought
Oh.
Who made the
first,
motion?
or was she making? the
Oh.
motion?
I made a question.
Okay, who made the motion?
I
You made the
I'll
motion.
second.
You made the second.
okay.
All in favor?
Bye.
Yay.
Nice meeting you, Stephanie. See you next
Thanks.
time.
Yep.